So I'm working on my 2006 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD neutral safety switch. But I've noticed that this same switch is on a lot of different models. The reason I'm making this video, and you might notice this is my very first video, is because I do a lot of home mechanicking with YouTube. Super appreciative of all the great videos I see, but there was a really simple step that nobody bothered to point out, and even here in my manual it's also not pointed out. How to release and reattach the electrical harness on this one. It's a little bit different than others I've worked with, and I work a lot on Toyotas, Mercedes, Volkswagen, General Motors, and this plug wasted about an hour of my time. So I'm not gonna bother with all the other steps, because this really is a pretty simple project, especially if you have a manual. But like I said, the wiring harness has just been a real bugger, and I'm just gonna show you all how to do it. So like I say, I'm not gonna go through all of the steps, but I've got my new neutral safety switch right there. Because this is my first video, I have no idea what the orientation is going to be on the screen, so I apologize ahead of time, because I'm sure it's going to suck. So there is the wiring harness that busted my melon, and you probably seen, and the simple part of it is just this little blue thing, where it's kind of just a keeper. It goes in there, and you probably realized you pull that out. And then what you may not realize is that this piece right here, this little raised area, that actually slides out. So you know, get a screwdriver and gently use these pry points to pry it out, and then you'll see that, let me get a little pointer here, you'll see that these little grooves right here will start to raise. This whole piece will come sliding out, and that is how you release and then reattach. And because nobody, you know, anywhere, even in the manual, didn't point that out, I ended up breaking a piece of the old switch off and had to clean it out. And then when I was putting the new one back, it would not go back into place, and until I finally realized that this slides out, and boy, it slides out about, I don't know, probably not a full inch, maybe close to an inch, and then allows the clip to go, or the switch to slide in freely, and then you gotta, you know, push it back in, and then put your little keeper back. So that's the piece of crap General Motors wiring harness explained.